This just in, the Ontario Court of Appeal has ruled that the province of Ontario is entitled to use powers that the province of Ontario is entitled to use. Shocker! Well, forget Hurricane Florence in the city of Toronto. An edict from the provincial government cutting Hogtown's bloated city council by almost half was being looked upon as the beginning of the apocalypse. Well, at least by the progressive elites and their ever-useful idiots in the media party, many of whom simply adore big government. The narrative unfolded like this: how dare the province slice and dice Toronto Council that way, even though all municipalities exist by the very whim of the province? But as we're seeing on an increasing basis these days, the left are, well, sore losers. Stateside, almost 2 years after the election of Donald Trump, they're still trying to find some dubious political loophole or Hail Mary legal maneuver to remove the president from the White House. In Ontario, it's only been about 3 months since the PCs ousted the Liberals, yet the left here are also in deep, deep denial. And Ontario progressives are also exploring ways to thwart the democratic process. Indeed, their mindset would seem to be simpatico with the Toronto high school teacher we had the pleasure of interviewing on the Danforth back in July. Do you remember that, Charmer?
Fascist. I'm going to say the word. Just like you quoted Trump, Trump is a fascist. Quote me on that. Quote me on that. Okay? Ford. People that elected Ford are people that are demented, that have absolutely no social
Really?
values. Yes.
He won a supermajority government.
Yeah, today's lesson, class. If the party you voted for didn't win, then the entire electorate is mentally ill. Wow, your public education tax dollars hard at work yet again, folks. But it turns out that the lunatic fringe has friends in high places, like activist Judge Edward Bellababa, who wrongly struck down the province's Bill 5 as being unconstitutional. More on that in a second. In the meantime, Bellababa. Where have we heard this name before?
How's that going?
Ah, yes! Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, a.k.a. Fafafuaye, a.k.a. Fofo Funky, a.k.a. Fifi Fifo, a.k.a. Mama Monkey, a.k.a. Ra Ra Retard. Actually, no, I misspoke when I went down memory lane regarding Howard Stern's toothy sidekick. Rather, I speak of a previous decision of Judge Baba Booey, Judge Bellababa, a decision that was also full of far-left activist idiocy. I speak of his Honor's decision to protect Omar Khadr's taxpayer-funded millions by denying the widow of Khadr's victim to freeze his assets. That's right, this judge went to bat for a murderous Islamist terrorist scumbag. Imagine having this Franken judge hearing your case. What a kook. Now, the judge's ruling forced Premier Ford into enacting the notwithstanding clause, which ultimately trumped Bellababa's screwball decision. Oh, and hey, don't take my word for that analysis, folks, because earlier this week, the Ontario Court of Appeal struck down Judge Baba Booey's decision. They called it a, quote, dubious ruling, end quote. As well, the Court of Appeal said this decision very likely, quote, erred in law, end quote.
Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
But the Court of Appeal was bang on in terms of both the letter and the spirit of the provincial law. And whether you agree with the decision by the Ford PCs to cut Toronto City Council in half, that's a moot point. The salient point is that the Ford PCs had every right to enact Bill 5, and when a non-elected activist judge tried to use dubious grounds that erred in law to overturn the decision by a majority government, guess what? The Ford PCs had every right to invoke the notwithstanding clause too. So better luck next time, guys, because despite the best laid plans of all you loony leftists and putrid progressives out there who so desperately want to subvert the democratic process and the will of the people, well, enjoy your end result.
have nothing.
You have nothing indeed. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, do you support Premier Doug Ford? Then please visit standwithford.ca and sign our petition.